Hey, welcome to Up to Speed Live on this Monday, May 17th. This episode is all about the month of May, beginning with some fun facts about May. If you were born in May, you're either Taurus or Gemini. Happy birthday to you. The birthstone for May is emerald, which represents love and success. And if you're a big fan of all things May, you don't have to be Justin Timberlake. This episode is for you. So you may remember last year in May of 2020, our friend Matt hosted an Up to Speed episode attempting to highlight everything going on in May. Matt's calendar could barely hold all of the different events, groups, and causes we as a company remembered and recognized that month. Well, Matt, today's episode is taking a look at May of 2021. It is just as busy, if not busier, and I'm pretty excited to have two more of our Up to Speed hosts joining us live today. Diana's here to share what's happening with Mental Health Awareness Month. Raquel joins us to talk about Global Accessibility Awareness Day. We'll also be sharing some really exciting ways we're celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month as well. So with that, it is very exciting to have a triple threat Up to Speed hosting show here. Diana, first, a belated happy birthday to you. You had a birthday weekend, and I know we mentioned kind of the astrology there. You're a Taurus, or I forget where the cutoff is on that?
Well, how stubborn am I? But I'm very loyal. So I'm definitely a Taurus. Hey, Andy.
Happy birthday to you. I'm great. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was so awesome. I was able to take a day off, and my mom had her here. And so we took the whole family for the first time to Coney Island, went to the aquarium, ate hot dogs at Nathan's, and even ended up in the local news. So it was quite the epic birthday.
That is awesome. Now, did you? I'm assuming you're such a great social media tweeting machine. There, can we watch the clip at some point? Did you share the clip that you were on?
I did.
Excellent.
Share the clip, and it was just so funny to I saw this reporter, and she's asking people to speak about something, and normally people run away from them, and I was like, I'll do a favor. I'll talk to her and tell her what life was like at Coney Island. It was great.
As a former TV person, that's good karma right there.
Yeah.
Paying it forward. So Diana, thank you, and happy belated birthday to you. And Raquel, I was thinking about this. The last time I believe you and I hosted, it was with Christy last year. We were talking about Gen Z, and this is always, I always feel like I'm doing something to. I think I was wearing some sort of Gen Z that shirt that said rock band on it.
Yeah, I remember that. It's always something between the two of us, but I've always got to rep Gen Z. I'm sorry, Andy.
That's right. That's right. I'm still working on the Gen Z terms, and but Raquel, I stan you, as Elon said on SNL on that Gen Z skit. All right. So with that, we have our three hosts ready to go. Diana, we'll start with you. Let's talk about mental health and how we're making it matter as a company.
Yeah, Andy, thanks so much. And we have to keep doing this because it's so great to just be able to chat with all of you. Yes. and share our ideas. And we were talking right up until the show, until we were told that we needed to sit down. So yes, very important this month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And you know me, I'm always saying you need to connect with your loved ones. You need to reach out. You need to check in with one another. Well, this is the perfect time to do so because you could really make a difference in someone's life. And we've got fantastic partnerships to tell you about that can help you do just that. So our fellow V-teamers at Visible are doing a lot to shine some light on the importance of mental health, including, and I love this, they launched a hashtag simple check-in to get people talking to their friends and family, their colleagues. You're going to want to check out some of their helpful tips on social about this. In fact, I did one with Megan Dorsch, and it was fantastic. We just chatted and had a lot of fun. And I felt a lot better after we did that. And then they are partnering with the Mental Health Coalition. So Visible has created a Friends Supporting Friends roadmap. How about that? Really interesting stuff there because, you know, sometimes you don't really know how to check in about mental health. Well, they're giving you the roadmap to do so. It is packed with tips and suggestions on how to get that conversation started around mental wellness or ask for help. And all of the details on this and the partnerships are available on the Visible website.
Excellent, Diana. Thank you very much. And as you said, this is so important, and it really takes those little actions can mean really big things for the people, not only in our Verizon family, but of course our family as well. So, Diana, thank you very much.
And I have one more thing to tell you about. We have an interesting Next 20 episode that drops this week on this very topic. I spoke to Aaron Harvey. He's the co-founder and director of Made of Millions. This is a group of doctors, artists, filmmakers, and coders who are challenging the systems, busting all of those myths to make mental health human in the workplace. And we really talked about it because it's not something that you can really, some people might not feel comfortable about opening up about some of the struggles that they have. But we want to make it possible for people to feel more comfortable about this and destigmatize it. So a really great conversation. You can check it out on our Inside Verizon Twitter or LinkedIn page this Thursday, May 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Raquel, let's talk about accessibility. This is something that comes up quite a bit, even in our circles with Up to Speed. We want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to communicate with us, but give us the rundown on what's happening with that.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy. Everyone, I'm super excited to tell you about the Global Accessibility Awareness Day. Mark your calendars for May 20th. That's when we're going to be celebrating all the ways that we're becoming digitally inclusive and accessible for people with disabilities. And thanks to the Verizon Consumer Group, we've also got a great lineup of live events. So get excited for that. We've got a panel discussion hosted by Fred Moltz from the VCG Accessibility team, a day in the life with members from Verizon Advance, and a Be My Eyes info session on how you can volunteer to assist customers with vision impairments. We've also got a lot of accessibility updates from across Verizon. So make sure you check those out. We've got a great variety, and those are going to be in the story, so you can sign up. And we've got, with the 5G Labs, we're hosting a series throughout the month of May on how technology can improve the lives of people with disabilities. Speakers are including Larry Goldberg, Lindsay Fabiano, and Margot Joffe, and many more. So make sure you check that out as well. I also just want to give a big shout out to our colleagues over at Verizon Media, because they're always leading the charge when it comes to being accessible with technology. And recently they just announced something that's really changing the game here. We've got 100% closed caption on all of their video media. So I'm talking original media, I'm talking the partnership videos. So 100% of that is going to be closed caption, which is awesome. And on top of that, they're also donating $5 million media dollars to disability organizations from the National Association of the Deaf, the American Council of the Blind, and the American Association of People with Disabilities. And it doesn't stop there. We've got more with partnerships. We're continuing to break ground on making virtual, augmented, and mixed reality accessible to people with disabilities as co-founders with Cornell Tech of XR Access. And we're also empowering the next generation of innovators to build technology that is born accessible and design a world inclusive for all with our partnership with Teach Access. And then, last but not least, I've got an exciting announcement that this week we're announcing our Disability Advisory Board, and this is going to be with trusted leaders from disability organizations that are going to help us inform, shape, and advise with our Verizon corporate leaders. So get excited for all of that. Look forward to it. And 3 days away until May 20th, so it's almost here. Andy, back to you.
There it is, Global Accessibility Awareness Day. Compliments of Raquel. Thank you for that rundown. And what's awesome is this day really sort of, it spans all across the company. And I know the topics are a little different. We sort of bucketed them, with Diana, Raquel, and myself. But Diana, like these things that we're talking about, as far as our ERG goes, we're talking not only about accessibility, but mental health as well.
That's right. Listening to Raquel talk about all these wonderful things that are happening, imagine how wonderful what you're saying is going to happen. We're talking about Advance and what they're doing for Mental Health Awareness Month. So you may want to check out some details on this upcoming event this Wednesday at 12 noon. They're going to be joined by Melissa Bernstein. If you know the toy company, Melissa and Doug, we have tons of those toys in our house. They're really cool, functional toys for kids. Well, she's going to be talking about her journey with anxiety and depression. No one is immune from these kinds of challenges. And so hearing from somebody who has achieved such success in her life, speak about this sort of thing is really going to go a long way to destigmatize some of the issues we have around anxiety and depression. So you can check out Advance's page for all the details. We will, of course, link to it in today's story.
Excellent. So as you can see, we are all over the calendar with different events and causes and reasons for all of us to be proud of our company. And of course, last but certainly not least, a reminder that it is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. That continues this May, of course. It's a topic that's near and dear, of course, to my heart. With all the challenges the AAPI community has faced over the past few months, this year, we want to not only honor and celebrate those who have enriched America's history, but also to encourage meaningful dialogue. It starts with those conversations inside and outside the community. So here are just a few big ways we've been making and we continue to make AAPI Heritage Month matter. We kicked off the month teaming up with the National AAPI Chamber of Commerce and Entrepreneurship at its Business Summit. Among some of the most influential voices in business and government, our own CFO Matt Ellis shared how the AAPI business community remains a part of Verizon's day-to-day business.
We've spent nearly $1 billion with Asian-owned businesses each year for the past 3 years. And in addition to that, we obviously ask our suppliers what they do in this space. So our suppliers have reported to us that they spend over $100 million a year.
As our executive champion, Matt will continue the conversation through our PACE ERG's Fireside Chat addressing issues facing the AAPI community today. Look for that conversation coming up Thursday, May 20th. Out west, V-Teamer Ivy Margolis from our legal team led a community-focused panel with Bay Area leaders about how to keep AAPI senior citizens safe and how local agencies can provide support for some of our most vulnerable communities. Big congrats to our visible leaders Miguel Quiroga and Minjae Orms for being selected to this year's Gold House A100 list, recognizing the most impactful Asians and AAPI leaders every May. And finally, Verizon is a proud founding partner of the Asian American Foundation, a group committed to accelerating opportunity and prosperity for AAPI communities. A big part of that is an event taking place Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, called Csu Night for Change, which will feature leading Asian American activists and entertainers to educate viewers about the AAPI community's impact in America. Watch on MTV, BET, VH1, Nickelodeon, and other partner networks. So there it is. Lots to be proud of, lots to share, lots to fill your calendars with, of course. We're still not done with the month of May. And this really these were just three very large topics. There's, of course, so much more to talk about in the month of May. By the way, if you're saying to yourself, hey, what about Military Appreciation Month? Well, don't worry. I am repping the camo check mark for a reason. In fact, we'll be airing an entire dedicated episode to celebrating our heroes this Friday, May 21st. Diana is hosting that one just in time for the Memorial Day weekend, so be sure not to miss that. And if you want to show your support for our Valor ERG or any of the other employee resource groups, we do have that new, we have some great looking shirts now available in our new brand shop. That link we'll provide, of course, in the story here. These are snazzy shirts that are offered through our vendors that all give back to a variety of charities when you purchase them. So go ahead and find the shirt, find the passion, and wear it with pride. That's what it's all about. And I'm just so proud, of course, to be with my fellow Up to Speed hosts here. So before we start wrapping up and get their final thoughts, there are a few quick things here. One final reminder. Today is the last day to complete the VZ Pulse Plus survey. Don't forget to share your thoughts about Verizon as a workplace. Speaking of thoughts, let's check in now with our gracious hosts here and amazing hosts. So Raquel, any final thoughts on this Monday as we finish up the month of May? Any thoughts for our team here?
Yeah, I'm really excited for all these events in the month of May. As usual, we're always busy doing great things around the company. So it's great to be here with you and Diana. We should do this more often.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. It's just, this feels like an up to speed meeting that we have every morning. Diana, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I second, third, but those sentiments. And I also just want to say that it should give everybody watching a sense of pride to know that their company invests so heavily in them and their passions and the things that are important to them. their mental health. There's a little something for everyone in May. It really does feel that way. And it really does make you feel like you're welcome and you belong when there are this many events, projects, and campaigns dedicated to making sure that you feel good about where you're at. So very proud to be here today. Very happy to be with both of you. And let's make it a great week.
It's awesome. It's already a great week because the two of you are here with me, and you're absolutely right. We should do it just like this. And to be honest with you, this is sort of the way that we talk about what we're going to share on Up to Speed. We discuss this as a team. We find different ways to sort of tell the story. And of course, if you do have a story, there are several ways you can reach out to us. Of course, on social, there's the good mailbox, good@verizon.com, the live inbox during our quarterlies. There's so many ways that you can continue to be a part of this story. So thank you, everybody. One thing, though, I was sort of thinking, who's going to do the sign off? That's my, trying this together is always tough, but should we try it? What do you guys think?
Sure.
Yeah,
there is no try, just do.
Let's do it, Yoda. All right, so I'm gonna count down from 3. This is gonna be weird, but we're gonna count down from 3. All right, and then we'll just do until next time you're up to speed, and let's see what happens. So, folks, have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of the week. We have much more to come in Up to Speed land. Thank you so much for joining us. 3, 2, 1. Until next time. You're up to speed.